Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you're a fan of Resident Evil and you've seen the Resident Evil movies, you probably hate them. There's a good chance you probably hate them, or maybe you don't. Maybe you like them in a so bad it's good kind of way, because there is some ridiculousness in those movies that is completely over the top. But I'm sure that if you are a diehard Resident Evil fan, you can at least acknowledge or at least be objective enough to look at Hollywood's attempts at these live action iterations of Resident Evil and look at them and say, they're not really they're not really that good, or or you could at least say they're extremely flawed, right? There hasn't been a perfect live action iteration of Resident Evil yet, and so at least in my opinion. So here we have a series that's going to be on Netflix, a Resident Evil series. And of course, I covered this in a previous video. This is an article from TVSeriesFinale.com. I'll go ahead and leave it linked in the description below if y'all want to go ahead and take a look at it for yourselves. But it talks about Resident Evil on Netflix. Now we have a little bit more of an idea of what we're going to see in that upcoming series. Now, initially, there were some rumors and speculation that it was going to be centered around Claire Redfield. Great. You know what I mean? Claire obviously has been around since 1998, Resident Evil 2. She's a well-established character within the Resident Evil universe, the younger sister of one of the main protagonists being Chris Redfield. And that would have been fantastic, I think, if they would have used Claire as the main character of this series, or Jill Valentine, Rebecca Chambers, Chris Redfield, Leon Kennedy, whoever, right? A character that has deep roots within the Resident Evil universe. Or I should say a deep lore within the Resident Evil universe, I thought would have been a good choice, regardless of who it was. You know, take your pick, right? So here we have Resident Evil Netflix orders live action series with Supernatural showrunner. Okay. Resident Evil is coming to the small screen. Netflix has ordered a live action series based on the popular video game franchise. An executive producer and co-showrunner on the CW Supernatural series, Andrew Dabb, is writing the series. 8 episodes have been ordered for the first season of the horror series. Okay, so obviously we see here them mentioning this because Andrew Dabb, having worked on Supernatural, that gives him some credibility in this kind of space, right? The whole horror/sci-fi genre. So he should have some, it should be in good hands, right? Not necessarily. Just because this guy's worked on Supernatural does not mean that he knows how to write a good Resident Evil series, especially if he doesn't know anything at all about the universe, which I hope that he does. He does do his homework and look into the history and lore of the series in order to write his series. But I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. Netflix revealed more about the series in a press release. Building on one of the most popular and best-selling survival horror video games of all time, Resident Evil will tell a brand new story across 2 timelines. In the first timeline, 14-year-old sisters Jade and Billy Wesker are moved to New Raccoon City, a manufactured corporate town forced on them right as adolescence is in full swing. But the more time they spend there, the more they come to realize that the town is more than it seems, and their father may be concealing dark secrets that could destroy the world. Cut to the second timeline. Well over a decade into the future, there are less than 15 million people on Earth, and more than 6 billion monsters, people, and animals infected with the T-virus. Jade, now 30, struggles to survive in this new world, while the secrets from her past about her sister, her father, and herself continue to haunt her. And then it has a little bit of a blurb about of Andrew Dabb, who says, so Resident Evil is my favorite game of all time. So that's good. Hopefully he's played more than just the first one. I'm incredibly excited to tell a new chapter in this amazing story and bring the first ever Resident Evil series to Netflix members around the world. For every type of Resident Evil fan, including those joining us for the first time, the series will be complete with a lot of old friends and some things bloodthirsty, insane things people have never seen before. Okay, I guess that's a good sign that he is at least familiar with the subject matter that he's going to be writing for. So that's good. Like I said, I hope he's played more than just the first Resident Evil game. I hope he's delved into more of the subject matter than just that. Maybe, hopefully, he's read some of the books, or at least some of the other mediums that are out there regarding Resident Evil, to kind of really familiarize himself with that world. and hopefully he doesn't draw any kind of inspiration from the Paul W.S. Anderson movies. Because as we know, that was the first iteration we got, right, of live-action Resident Evil. And I didn't have a problem with the first movie. I will say this. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was great. But I thought I was all right with it. I didn't have too big of a problem with it. Where it all went downhill for me was Resident Evil Apocalypse, which was the second movie. And then they just got progressively worse after that. And I did watch them. I didn't watch them in the theater. The last one I watched in the theater was Apocalypse. And I was just like, okay, I'm done. I can't with these movies. So if I did watch them, it was through other means after the fact, and never went to the theater to support those movies, you know, but always had my fingers crossed, just like with the Transformers movies, that hopefully they would get better, that there would be one that would be good. With Transformers, we did get that with Transformers Bumblebee, I thought, but never happened for Resident Evil. Those movies were pretty terrible until the end, and I don't know how they ended up making 6 of them. I really don't. Maybe it was people that were hoping, hey, hopefully this is something that gets better, you know, in time, but it just never happened. But like I said, it's good that he knows the subject matter at least. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a good series. And this whole idea of creating, once again, I don't know what Hollywood's aversion is to just using already established characters from the universe to base something on. They always want to do this thing where they create brand new characters. In this case, Jade and Billy Wesker. Who the hell are they? Are they Albert Wesker's daughters? I mean, is the Wesker family, you know, an extended family of just crazy people that always work with corporations that create biological weapons? I mean, what's the deal here? I mean, maybe, of course, I know it's going to be fleshed out when we finally see the series, but why not just use already established characters? You have so much lore there that you could draw upon. You know, you could have drawn so much for, you know, a series based around Claire Redfield. There's plenty of you to draw from and expand upon, in my opinion. But here we are. They continue the trend of not building a series or movie around an already established character of the series. So of course, again, that is cause for concern, in my opinion. And this whole thing of doing the pre-apocalyptic and post-apocalyptic scenario, we'll see how that works, you know. Obviously, there's other shows that have done that. Some have done that to great effect, and it's worked. Others, not so much. So we'll have to wait and see. But I honestly don't have much faith in this series. I'm going to be honest. My expectations are very low. Keep them low, so that way, once the series does come out, I am going to check it out to see if I'm wrong. Because, you know, you want to hope that you are in a situation like this, that something is really good. But I have no faith. I have no faith in it. I'm just going to be honest. I have no faith that this will be a good series. I think it's going to be another garbage take on a live-action Resident Evil universe. But you know what? I'll be happy to admit if I'm wrong once I actually see the series. But like I said, I have no faith that it will be, so I'm going to keep my expectations low. But what do y'all think of this? Do y'all think this series is going to succeed, or is it going to be just another live-action Resident Evil failure? Let me know in the comment section below, and until next time, you know how it goes. The hunt continues. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a like, share, and comment below.